WWE has a Liv Morgan problem. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that problem is and what the potential solution could be, because Liv Morgan has set the world on freaking fire. She has overnight, seemingly, taken over the pro wrestling industry. We have gone from a Liv Morgan who fans have not taken seriously. I mean, no one even talked about Liv Morgan for the longest time. Now, granted, 6 months of that is because she was off television due to an injury, but Liv Morgan was always someone that fans rallied behind anytime that she was actually used on television, when she was actually used on TV, because there was a lot of times where she would just get these start and stop pushes and people would be like, okay, they're going to do something, and then they don't do anything. It's like, oh. But now, WWE, who doesn't have a Charlotte Flair, who doesn't have a Becky Lynch, who doesn't have a Rhea Ripley, two of which is due to injury, right? Charlotte's out with a torn ACL, MCL, and a meniscus, while Rhea Ripley is on the sidelines due to a AC joint sprain in her shoulder, and Becky Lynch just hit the bricks and has taken a hiatus from the company. And so, in the span of just a few months, really, they lost out on two of those stars, right? Because initially, we had Rhea Ripley go down to an AC joint sprain in her shoulder, and WWE, well, they had to pivot, right? And then all of a sudden, Becky Lynch, her WWE deal was coming up, and she was like, I'm leaving. And so they needed someone to fill that void, and Liv Morgan has done that in such a big way. And as someone who is a Liv Morgan supporter, it's like she's taken this company by storm even in a bigger and better way than I initially anticipated. Like, I knew she had potential. I did not know that she would be able to rise to the occasion, rise to the spot that she is on the card right now in such a quick period of time. Now, it obviously helps that WWE put her in a position where she feuded with two of their biggest stars in the entire company, let alone the female division. With Rhea Ripley, she legitimately injured Rhea Ripley in a backstage segment, resulting Rhea to be on the sidelines for multiple months. Then you have her feud with Becky Lynch earlier this year, and then feud with her again. So she already had that shine. She also had a big return at the Royal Rumble. But then Becky and Liv, they feuded over the Women's World title. And while, yes, initially you had Becky Lynch win said championship and be the champion after a victorious Battle Royale, they quickly pivoted towards Liv and Becky, right? You had at the King and Queen of the Ring PLE, you had Liv go over Becky Lynch thanks to outside interference from Dominic Mysterio 2 nights later, Monday Night Raw. Liv goes over in a steel cage match, right? She's off to the races. Now, that leads us to today's topic, because there's been a lot of good about Liv Morgan in recent months, recent weeks, really, since about April. But there's also a big problem that they have, and it's a problem they're going to have to solve, and I think I have the solution for it. So it was recently reported that Rhea Ripley, she ain't going to be back in time for SummerSlam. Now, when initially Rhea went down with this injury, it was believed that she would be back in time for SummerSlam, which takes place on August 3rd in Cleveland, right? With the idea of, okay, let's just bide our time with Liv as champion, get her through some feuds, and then we'll do the big match, the big money-drawing match between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Well, according to Dave Meltzer, that is not going to happen, at least at SummerSlam, because Ripley is currently rehabbing her shoulder rather than having surgery, and right now she's not scheduled back for SummerSlam. And they were told that if it heals up faster than expected, then, they'll go with the match. But if not, they have an issue. Now, I previously covered this in a video last week, but it got me thinking again today, oh, they have a problem, because now you have to fill the void in this time gap. If you've watched Monday Night Raw over the last several weeks, you've noticed Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio have been the leading storyline on this show. Opening segments, throughout the show, multiple segments. Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, they're all over this show. And they're continuously teasing this weird romantic relationship between Dominic and Liv, with the idea of it's leading Liv and Rhea to feud again. It's leading Rhea to return and feud and get her revenge on Liv Morgan. Well, if we have the issue of Rhea not returning in time, guess what's going to happen? You have to push that back. You have to extend this storyline. Okay, so if you have to do that, then it creates another problem of, oh, well, I guess we better get talent ready to go and feud with Liv Morgan. Because you know they're going to try to load up SummerSlam, and you know they're going to try to load up Money in the Bank. Right? You need credible, worthy title contenders for Liv Morgan. And you don't have that because you were banking on Rhea Ripley. That's a major problem for them. That's a major Liv Morgan problem. Now, the good thing is WWE has never been more stacked when it comes to female talent. Whether it be across Raw, SmackDown, NXT, you name it, they're freaking loaded. That is something that you can work with, right? And even though you're without Becky Lynch and you're without Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw, well, things can be altered, right? You could have trades between Raw and SmackDown, maybe a few girls from SmackDown over to Monday Night Raw, and you could always call up talent from NXT. Or you could just hunker down and build up some worthy contenders on Monday Night Raw. They are there. You just need to be able to see it through. As far as Rhea Ripley, then it made me think, okay, if you can't do Liv versus Rhea at SummerSlam, when do you do it? Like, ideally, you would want to do it at Mania, but I feel like that's way too down the line for such a feud, right? And I even hate saying the word feud because I don't think it's a feud. I think it's more of a storyline than anything. It's a program, not a feud. A feud is, I want your title, or you attacked me, or I want this, or I need to beat you to elevate me. And it's like, this is different. Liv is going after revenge because Rhea injured her, and now Rhea is returning, and she's going to be coming after Liv for two reasons. One of which, revenge, right? Liv injured her, and two, she took her man, and Dominic Mysterio, or whatever the weird dynamic is between those two. So you have a multiple, like, this is different, and I've pitched this since they started the feud. It's like, we've gone from a one-off match to, we could easily get 3 PLEs out of this. We could easily get 6 months if they really want to extend this into Mania, where you could have that blow-off match at WrestleMania. Like, there's a lot to work with here, and I, for one, cannot wait to see what they end up doing with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley.